Hello and welcome to the channel. In today's video we are going to discuss about how we can create log file in PowerShell. So I will show you a very simple approach how we can create log file. Not only the text file, we will see also how we can create a CSV file where you can store the log or any information that you want to store while running any PowerShell script. So as you know, we do various long running tasks using PowerShell. So whether you are a SharePoint developer or not, a lot of places you use PowerShell, and whether it is related to uploading files or moving bulk items or creating files, we do a lot of PowerShell activities. And in those scenarios, we might want to track the information, not necessarily always the error messages, but we may also track the information. So for that we require to create a log file so that we can store some information on that. As usual, I have created a complete blog post on the same where you will get all the PowerShell scripts also. So I'll open that PowerShell blog, and then we'll run or execute the PowerShell script by using Windows PowerShell IAC. You can also use Visual Studio Code or any editor that you want to use. But for this example, I will use PowerShell IAC. So let me open a PowerShell IAC. So you can just search for PowerShell IAC and run as administrator you do, and then just click on yes. So now once you have this, now we will see, so just click on new script. So it will open the file where you can write your script. Now, if you are new to PowerShell IAC, I will put a video link over here in this video description. You can have a look at that. Now, let me open the blog post. So if you'll see here, this is the complete blog post that I was talking about. And here we will see various examples how we can create, or different ways that you can create log file. So let me just copy this thing and I will put it in our PowerShell IAC. So you can see here. And on this, if you'll see, first thing what we are doing is I've just taken a PowerShell variable, and this is the path that I said in D drive log.txt. So this is the file that I want, and in that I want to write some message. So this is the message you can see here, and then this symbol you can use double bracket here, so that whatever the message you have, it will be written on this path. So if I'll run this, it will actually execute the PowerShell script. And if I'll open this D drive, you can see here there is a file, and you can see it wrote the message as well. So even if the file is not there, let me delete and show it once again. So even if the file is not there, let's say log.txt, still when you will run it, it will actually create the file, and you can see that here, and it wrote the message on this. So this is how you can, this is very simple way where you can create a log file. Similarly, there are other ways that you can do here is, suppose you want to see if the log file is already present or not. If it is present, then it should delete it, and then it should write the message here. So in those scenarios, you can use test-path. This is the PowerShell command which will take a path, and it will check whether the file is there or not. So whatever the path is you have given, whether it is there or not. So I will just copy and paste here. So in this case, if you'll see here, we have the same path, and let me see whether it is there or not. Yes, it is there. And if you'll see here, the message is same. So let's just change it something here. So I'll just add some text here, and you can see here we are checking. So if the path is exist, then we will remove the item by using remove -item. So it will remove this, and then the message it will write. So I'll run this. You can see here this file run, and if I now open the file, you can see here this is the new updated message. So ideally what it did is it deleted that file, and then again it create, and it put this message whatever is there. Next thing is, if you'll see here, what we are doing here is, sometimes what happened is we might want to track the date and time when the message actually it's or when the message exactly we are writing it. So if you'll see here, I have just checked get -date. This is the PowerShell command which will give you the current date, and I convert it to .toString so that we can write this message. Now if I will just copy it, so I will just show you. So let me just copy that message again. So if you'll see here, I will just copy this message again, and you can see here we put get hyphen date and .toString. So we are concatenating it here. You can see here plus symbol and this then hyphen. So if I'll run it now, if you will open this, you can see here this is the message, and then this is the date and time that it is appending over there in that particular message, so that we can actually see when the error came on or not. So that message we can track it here. Now next example we will see here is, if you'll see here, here what we are doing is, if you want to track multiple messages, then actually we can create a function and then we can call that function. So let me put it here and I'll explain you. So in this scenario, if you'll see here, what I have done is we are trying to put multiple messages here. We are trying to track multiple messages here. So every time we will not check whether the file exists or not, or we will not remove that item like this. So what we will do here is, I have created a function. So you can see here, this is the path first of all. So we given the hard-coded path here, and then you can see here there is a function, and then this is the function name, and then this is the parameter. So the parameter is the message, and we are writing message, and then same we are appending the date and time, and then we are writing over here. So now what will happen is your function will not get called at the beginning. So your code will execute like this. So this will execute line number 1, and then it will come here, it will check if the path is there or not. If it is there, if the file is there presented in this particular path, then it will remove the item, and then what it will do is it will call, the first time it will call this method. So it will go here, this is the message, and it will write it, and then second method will call, third method will call. So this third time that we will call this method, and then the method will write into that log file. So now let me run it. So once I run it, you can see here it is successfully completed. So if I now open it, you can see here it is tracking the first message and the time, and then second message, time, third message, and time. So we basically wrote multiple log messages by just calling one function. Now next we will do here is, we will see another example where we'll use the add hyphen content PowerShell command, and this time we will not write to a log .txt file. So actually in PowerShell it is easier to create the files, just to change the naming change the extension, and then it will work. So in this case, if you'll see here, most of the time you will see the log file extension will be .log, something like that. So but in this case, the other way we are writing is by using this just add hyphen content PowerShell command. So how exactly it will work is, let me just copy this message again, and I will go to this PowerShell. So in this case, if you'll see here, all other lines are same. Only thing is add hyphen content. This is the PowerShell command that you can use to write some messages or some value on this path. So the parameters are simple, add hyphen content, then what is the path. So this is our path, and then what you want to write, that you will put in hyphen value. So the value parameter will take what messages you want to write. So you can see here, let me just delete this file because we are using the same messages. So I'll just, I have deleted. Now you can see here it runs successfully, and if you'll open it, now here it is. So it print all the messages. So this is how we can use also add hyphen content PowerShell command. Now we will see another example where we can use start hyphen transcript. So what exactly this will do is, not only this will track the message, apart from that also it will add some additional information here. So you can see here, this is actually simple, write host we are using just to put the message, and then we are providing a path. So the same log file path we are giving. So if I will now copy it, and you will see it will write more information, not only just this one. So I'll run it, and now the file got created. You can see here the file is log, so which is a text file again, and you can see here this is the message that it put. But apart from that, if you'll see, there are other things that it has been added here: username, run as user, what is the configuration name, machine name, host application, process ID, PowerShell version, so PS version. So all this additional information it put over there in this. If you'll use or if you'll try to log through start transcript, and then you can stop transcript, and within that you can write your message. Simple, but it will add some additional information on that. This will be helpful if you want to track really what is the machine and all these details. That time it will be helpful to get those information apart from your log information. The next example we will see here is let me just tell you, there are various log labels are there, like verbose, debug, information, warning, error, like this. So all you can write in write hyphen, so whatever you will write, that will be written there. And a lot of time you will see here, even if I'll tell you, I also come across these scenarios where you want to track the information of the log on everyday basis. So basically it will create a log file on today's date, and that will in that file then it will write it. So most of the time you can do is like if there is already a file exists, you can delete this and then you can get that. So the difference over here is compared to the other PowerShell script that we wrote is the message that is the file name that we are generating here. So in this case, if you will see, previously we just give d colon slash and then file name, but in this case we are taking the date. So if you'll see, get hyphen date, and then you put hyphen format, and then this is the date format that you want. So mmddyyyy, and maybe you don't need this hyphen, so you can actually remove this hyphens also. So whatever the format you will give, that date will come, and then it will create a file on that date. So that date, and then other things are same, you will add the message like this. So if you'll run it, now if I'll open it, you can see here it is taking on the date. So if you'll see here, 09 is the month, 02 is the date, and then 2020 is the year. So you can see here, and the message is coming like this. So that way also you can use. And also a lot of time we might require to add the time. So not only the date, you can also put the time. So only difference is, you can see here we are just putting over the hour and minute. So hyphen HH and hyphen MM, like this I have given. So the other one is you can create a log file if it is not exist. So you can simply ignore if it is there, then it will ignore, and if it is not there, then actually it will exist. It will create it. Now if I will just put it here, you can see here same thing we are doing. We are getting the date in this format, mmddyyyy, and then this is the combined path. So you can also put in one line, and then we're checking by using test hyphen path. So test hyphen path, you can see I have given not equal to, so it will check if this is not equal to, then only it will create the file. So how you can create it, you can see new hyphen item, this is the PowerShell command. Item type is file, because we want to create file here, and this is the path and this is the name. So we are providing both path and the name. So the name will be like this, and the folder path is this one. So this is how you can create a file if it is not exist, and this is based on the today's date. And the next example we will see is the header. So you might want to add a header over there. So if you want to add header and the message, so you can do this. And in this case, what we'll do is we will use a CSV file. So you can actually create a CSV file, and then you can add the header into that. So in this case, if you'll see here, this is a little different way that we are doing, rather the normal how we just put the extension. If we'll just put the extension, it will create the CSV file. So if we'll run like this, then it will create the CSV file .csv extension. But after that, if you'll see, I have created two columns here. So this is the syntax how you can create it. So I have created date and time and the message. And then if you'll see CSV file import hyphen CSV, and this is what the CSV file you will get from this directory. And then the message you are adding here. So you can see here CSV file dot date and time, because this is the column that we have added, or the header you can say, and then message. So this is the message, and then finally you have to do export hyphen CSV, the output file. So if we'll run it, it will actually create the CSV file. So it executed. Now you can see here the CSV file is created, log hyphen the date. You can see here this is the date. And next if you'll see here, if I'll open this file, you can see it added the, you can see here now it added the date and time and then the message, the header columns, and you can see the message we are adding also date and time, and then this is the custom message that you are adding. So this is how you can create a CSV file with headers. So this will be helpful because sometimes you might want to see in tabular format, and that time these headers will be helpful. And next we will see here is create a log, create a error log file. Now actually when you will create a error log file, there is nothing called or nothing that it will be different from a normal log file. Only thing is what I have shown here is in the exception it will, you can actually see or you can track the message. So whatever the error is coming, you can just putting in a log file. Now let's say this try catch we are using not only in PowerShell, we are using on any programming language. So here also in PowerShell we are using, you can see here try catch block, and in try you can see here I have divided 1 by 0. So it will give an exception, so it will go to the catch block, and you can see this is the file name and this is the log file complete path. And then what it will do is, you can see here it will create this file and it will write this message onto this file. So if I'll run it, now you can see here this is the file that it created, the last one, and if you open it, you can see here it is saying attempted to divide by 0, because that's what it will give an exception, and we are tracking that exception into our log file. So this is how actually you can write this. And CSV file, as I said you before also, you can see here I have created a CSV file, and when I'm saying creating a CSV file, it is actually nothing different from other files. So if you'll see here, I have just changed the extension to .csv, and the other things you can see here based on today's date and all these things. So if we are writing the same add content, and then we are checking if the path is exist, we are removing it and then creating this. But only difference is, instead of .txt or .log file, I have given the extension as .csv. So it is pretty simple. So you can see here now once I executed, so the last one you can see this is the file that we have created, and if you open it, you will be able to see that it has the message only. PowerShell log file message. So it's just track on this message only. If you want to track other things like header and this thing, then other script you can follow. But if you want to just track the message in a CSV file, this is how we can use it. And also you can actually use PowerShell framework to log information. PS framework is there. I put the link over there, so you can have a look at this. You have to install this and then you can use it. This is what is the command, write hyphen PSF message. I'll create a separate video for this, how you can use this framework. And the other one is, I will show you, there is a simple way that you can create a file, simple log file. I know we have seen also previously the simple log file. Now here just to summarize that, if you'll see here, I have taken I have getting the file name, like we are putting log hyphen, and then it will give today's date in this format, and then you can write a new item and then path. So this will create the file, and the last one it will add the message. So you can use add hyphen content path, and then the value what you want to do. This is a simple way that you can create a file, and then you can add the messages into that. Before that, you can the format, file format. So if you want to based on today's date or today's date and time, that you can decide it here. So this is how you can create various log files, and all these are very simple ways that you can create and you can use it. So if you like the video, kindly subscribe to the channel. You will get a lot of free videos on PowerShell, SharePoint, Office 365, SPFX, Power BI, all this Power Platform. So Power Apps, Power Microsoft Flow, all these videos you will get it. So if you like the videos, kindly give a like to the video and subscribe to the channel. You will get notified if you will press the bell icon as well. So thank you and have a nice day.